She's oiling perfectly now. Right on. That's good. I got to set the carb though. She's not right. I got 40 to 1 in there. I'm gonna try that out. Okay, see that little thing? That's how tiny that little orifice is. That goes right in the end of this oil filter over here. That goes in the end of the line for your oiler on your chain. And so they went through many different, I think they originally just had a line hooked up to the filter. Then they went back to this setup here. And I think maybe they tried different sizes of these, but anyway, this one's getting drilled out. This is the size we're gonna go with here. That's the size we're going with. It's smaller than this hole. Can you see that? I'm trying to like look through the camera to do this. There. See, it's smaller than that, but it's bigger than the hole in that. Because the oiler was working. It is pumping it up. Now it's got the new duct bill in there and everything you can see. That's the duct bill. The pressure comes from the crankcase, pressures up this oil tank, and then sends it up this line and to the bar. And it just wasn't quite oiling enough. So we're gonna fix that. Okay, there we go. The finished product. We'll see if that oil's a little bit better. Should be just perfect. Won't be too much, won't be too little, I hope. Okay, we'll put it all back together here. And yeah, that thing there just fits into the end of the filter, like right in there. You see that? Oh man, this is so tiny. My hands are frozen right now. There, just fits in there like that, and then you put the line over top. Let's see how she does. Okay, well, I think it's oiling a little too much for this bar. It would be probably perfect for a 16-inch bar and chain, but it's cutting really well. Running pretty good. I did a muffler mod. Sometimes they're a little hard to tune in when you do that, but I'm getting it pretty close there. I want to make sure it's right for whoever gets it. Yeah, so on these ones here, you got to crack the cap to relieve the pressure off, otherwise they'll drain the tanks. But I think that's what that little orifice was supposed to help and slow down. I'll have to see now that I've been cutting with this one if it leaks. I want to check inside and just see if there's any oil in there. Let me look. Let's see if we can have a peek. I don't think we can see here. I'll look with my light. Well, actually I looked in here. And it's pretty much neck and neck, which is what I want. I want a full tank of fuel drained when a full tank of oil's drained, or I'd rather have just a little bit of oil left over if I could. Definitely don't like it when this runs out before this, but it's oiling great now. The chain never loosened up that whole time, which is just perfect. You can feel the oil on it. I probably could go a little bit smaller on that hole. That was the smallest drill bit I had. I'll get the actual size of the drill bit and I'll pass it on to you, and then you can, if you want to drill yours out. But like I said, with a 16-inch bar and chain, it might just be perfect for that. Definitely getting the oil. And I've got winter oil in here, so it's a bit thinner. Maybe some thicker oil will slow it down some. Cool. But yeah, there's definitely a little bit of oil left in here. I thought it was drained empty, but it's not. There's still, looks like identical to what the gas level is. So yeah, I'm gonna put the tack on it and just see what it's actually revving at when it's cutting in the wood, and then what it revs out when it's not in the wood, and then set the idle to spec. Should be pretty close to the way it is though. Okay, she's at 10.3, idling at 3,100 RPMs. That's the spec is 28 and 28 to 3,300 RPMs, I believe. I'll have to double check. And then it's revving, yeah, 10.3 out of the wood. So I think that translates into about 8,000 in the wood. She's just a little 26cc saw here. It goes good. And it's 10 to 11,000 RPM wide open. So maybe we'll turn her up just a little bit. So it was about 2,700 RPM. So I actually gave the low jet a little more fuel, and that actually dropped the overall RPM by about 450 RPM. So that low jet delivers fuel all the time. So it plays a role on your overall jetting. So yeah, so I'll be able to lean out the high jet just a bit here. There we go. She's set perfect. It's about 10.6. 10.5, 10.6. Let's go cut with it. She's cutting good. It's a fun little saw. Brought the kids with me. Wow, that worked out perfect. This drained right out exact same time the oil did. So actually that hole I drilled is just perfect. Well, you could go just slightly smaller, certainly wouldn't hurt anything, but yeah, did a lot of cutting, and chains same tension it was when I started. Plenty of oil on there. Right on, that's perfect. Okay. Rolled up the chain there. She finally just came a bit loose there, but I cut that whole tree up. All of that. Got a little bit left, that that little bit up there. Yeah, cut really good. It's the jetting's just perfect. The idle's perfect. Everything's great. The only thing that I would do different is I wouldn't drill that hole quite as big. So I'll find out the size there and go a little bit smaller, and I think you'd be perfect. It actually was still running that time and the chain wasn't oiling, so it just runs a little bit longer. But I filled it up right to the top last time, so you could just use the drill bit I did if you want, and then just put a little less fuel in. It doesn't oil that much there. That's just me dumping it on after. And my little mod there on the, or not mod, but like repair, I guess you could say, on the bar. Perfect. Doesn't move like even a millimeter. Just perfect. So I'll tighten the chain up and should be good again there. Yeah, so if you have a bar and it's, you don't want to spend the money on a new one, just do what I did there. Weld it up and file it down and works perfect. Okay, that's it for the old Homelite XL. You can't go wrong with it. Okay, so I didn't take pictures of video of this, but this thing had the little banana bar on, and I kind of wanted to keep that bar on there, and it was pretty decent, so I just filed it down and everything. But they only have one bolt that holds this bar on, and so even when it was tightened up, I would go to cut with it, and sometimes the bar would tilt up, and it just wasn't right, and it was because the slot in the bar was worn out. So I thought, what the heck, I'll just try and weld it up. So I put it in the vise there, and I took the welder out, and I just welded the, I think I just welded the one side of it. I think it was the top of the slot. I welded it all the way across, and I just kept filing with a flat file, and then I just kept checking it on the saw until it was a good tight fit. And I mean, it's better than new the way it is now. So now it goes on there and it doesn't move at all. So that's just one little trick you can do if you don't want to spend the money and buy a new bar, or you want to keep the original. And if you have a welder and you can do that, just try welding it up and then filing it down. You'll see it works pretty darn good. So now the bar doesn't move at all. And then yeah, it didn't quite oil that well. So that's why I drilled that hole just a little bit bigger, just to give it a little more oil. So yeah, for features on this thing, it's easy starting, it's light, it's like 7 pounds. On this one, the coil's right here, but because the holes are right close to it, all the heat escapes out. Not like those McCulloughs there that you've seen those videos I have on that little plastic homeowner style McCullough. They were getting so hot, they were cooking the coils, and I just drilled a couple of holes right by the coil, and then the heat was able to get out. But these, you don't have to. That's not that warm at all. And I've been cutting for an hour with that thing. The heat comes out right there, so it's all good. These are, they have a little bit of vibration because they're not a anti-vibe, but not bad at all actually. I did a little muffler mod. Just took the guts out of the muffler and typical muffler mod. Then I added a couple little extra holes. You don't have to go that big, I don't think, but whatever. That was the drill bit that I had at the time. So yeah, they've only got one bolt hole or bolt holding on the bar, but as long as you got a good bar, or you weld it up like I did, it holds it nice and solid. Not much else to really say about this thing. They're super easy to work on. Like, it's crazy how easy they are to work on. It's just 2 screws there, 2 screws there. Yeah, you can see this has been repaired with fiberglass at one time. 4 screws for the cover, and a couple lines off. Of course, have your bar off, and that whole engine just comes right out of there. Super simple to work on. I really like these saws. I've had them now for over a year, and year and a half, almost 2 years now, and I never even looked at them. I didn't think I'd like them at all, but they're awesome for limbing. They're super light. I just limbed that whole tree there. Normally my back would be a little bit sore from bending over, but it's because I'm always holding like a 50cc saw to do it. 14 pounds loaded up with fuel and oil, or 13-14 pounds, compared to 7 fully loaded up there is quite a difference. But anyway, that's it. That's all I got for you. So I'm gonna load this up and go to the next tree. Over and out. The elk come through here at night. I can hear them. Sounds like somebody's on a 4-stroke Yamaha over there as well. Way over there.